Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I know I've been MIA for far too long. Uh, there was a reason behind that. I was in a massive book slump. I was not able to get through one single book completely. I was switching between books, or if I was completing a book, it was like one in 6 months. However, I'm back now. I'm on a reading streak. I have read a few books this month, and I've also purchased 6 to 7 new books that I think might interest me and make me want to read more. As you know, mystery thrillers have been the books that get people out of reading slumps, and that's what I have gone ahead and done. I've got around 5 to 7 new books, and majority of them are mystery thrillers. And I'm also hoping to a book review at the end of this month. I'm very excited for that as well, since I've read some interesting books. Now let's go ahead into the haul. I've ordered books from my favorite authors to make this journey easier for me. Now, the first book that I have ordered is from one of my favorite authors. She has written many mystery thrillers that I have absolutely read and loved. And this one is called My Husband's Wife. This is a psychological thriller. I believe this book is based on a woman that goes out for a run, and then when she comes back, there's somebody else in her house. The key that she uses to open the door doesn't work, and when she knocks on the door, there is a lady that looks exactly like her. And that sounds like a exciting premise. Very interested to read what happens. However, I've read some mixed reviews about this one. Some people have loved it, and some people have thought that it is not as good as her other books, but I'm very excited to get into this one. The next book we have books, I should say. I came across many book reviews recently of Stephen King, and that has gotten me very excited to read his books. I already had read one of his books called Billy Summers. I have it on the shelf back here, and I had loved it. That was not a mystery thriller nor a horror book. However, I loved how he wrote about the human psychology, human behavior, which is why I picked up two of his books. The first one that I picked up was The Shining. Now, I know The Shining is very famous, but I remembered this one from when I was watching Friends. I heard Joey speak about this book as to how scary it was. I don't know how true that is, but I've also seen reviews where people are saying it is extremely scary. I don't know how a book can be scary, and I don't know what an author can do to make it scary. Usually, when you watch horror movies, you depend on the jump scares to be scared, I believe. But however, there are authors that write horror, and if I want to try that out, who better than Stephen King? This is about Danny, who's only 5 years old, but in the words of old Mr. Halloran, he is a shiner, aglow with psychic voltage. I think the son in this book has some psychic powers, and they are stuck in a hotel in the winter blizzard, completely cut off from the world. And that sounds like a very good setup for a horror book. Very excited to read this one as well. The next one I have is 11/22/63 by Stephen King. Again, this is a very famous one. This is not a horror book, and I don't think this is a psychological thriller as well. This is a time travel crime novel, if I'm right. Yeah, the back of it says that it's a suspense novel. So I'm assuming it is a crime suspense time travel book. And excellent reviews about this one. Not one person has spoken about it badly. Hence, I decided to go for this one. The next two books are by another favorite author of mine. I love all his books. Who better than Riley Sager to get me hooked onto books again? This is called Survive the Night. Now, this is a psychological suspense. Charlie is a girl on the road in the night, and she gets into the stranger's car. However, on the journey, she realizes that he might be the serial killer everyone's talking about. Can't wait to get into this one. The next one I have here is The Only One Left by Riley Sager. Again, I've heard very good reviews about this one. Here, there is a lady, I think she's around 70, 75, and she has she's famous for killing her entire family. but she got away with it because there was lack of evidence. And this happened, I think, in the 1920s. However, the our main character has to care for her since she's now paralyzed and mute. She goes to her house as a caregiver, and she has to live with her and take care of her throughout the day. It's a different kind of setup which intrigued me a lot. I'm really hoping to like this one. Now, the next book I have is by Frida McFadden. I've read like 10 of her books, and majority of them have been excellent with amazing twists at the end. She's known for that. This one is called The Crash. Again, heard massively good reviews about this one. Uh, Honestly, I don't know much about this book, so I'm just going to read the back of it and let you know. Tegan is 8 months pregnant, alone and desperate, wants to put her crumbling life in the rearview mirror. So she hits the road, not realizing she's heading straight into a blizzard. Hours later, when Tegan is stranded in rural Maine with a dead car and broken ankle, she worries she's made a terrible mistake. Then a miracle occurs. She's rescued by a couple who offers her room in a warm cabin until the snow clears. But something isn't right. Staying here may have been her most deadly mistake yet. Perfect for a good night in. Now, the next one is not a horror, not a thriller, not a suspense crime book. It is Fearless by Lauren Roberts. I wanted to buy something which will help me finish a series. I'm in the middle of so many fantasy romance series. I've started um, around 10 to 15, and I've not been continuing with them. Either the books have not released or they have released and I've not read them. So instead of starting a new series or having that satisfaction of finishing at least one fantasy series, I've got the book Fearless. I have Powerless and Reckless with me, and this was the only one that was missing. I'm hoping to finish this. However, I did start reading Reckless and it was a bit boring at the start, which then again made me switch the book to something else. But I'm very determined this time. I'm going to get through Reckless because, as per the author, it is a filler book. So I'm going to get through that so that I can finish the third one. And I've heard this one is an action packed one where everything concludes and everyone has enjoyed. So I'm looking forward to finishing this series as well. It's going to be a huge achievement for me. So that's all for my haul. I am looking forward to creating more videos. Please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.